Having done the roof on this 110, I'm now going to do the doors. But I don't want to take all the doors apart, if you see what I mean. I don't want to take the winder mechanism off, because it's a right pain. But if you do a little trick, if you want to do a bolt here, here and here, and then back off these smaller bolts at the top, you can put a block of wood under there, which will give you good access to put your Killmat at the top, because there's a panel there that's got nothing in it, but here they've already got some factory stuff. Oh, we're going to put some bit over the top of that too, and some of that foamy stuff. So I'm going to measure it up now, and I'll come back and I'll shout out what the measurements are, so it's going to make it easier for you. Oh, I've got a metric tape measure. Look at that. Wow, isn't that good? So I'll shout it out in metric. The bottom is 72 by 22. All right. Let me measure the top. The top piece is 52 by 11. All right. So I'm going to cut 2 lots of that out for the other side door, and then we'll do the middle doors. That's kind of easy, isn't it? Like I say, I have steam cleaned these off so there's no dirt and grease in them. And this is why you must do this first. You know, you must clean it off first before you put any rust proofing in, because if you put rust proofing in, this stuff ain't going to stick, so it's a good time to do it. Oh, and another top tip while I'm on at it. When you've got any bits left over, like this, like I've just dropped, this butyl sticky rubber type stuff, collect it up immediately and bin it in little bits and pieces like this, because if you stand on it on the floor, it is a bugger of a job to get off. Even the steam cleaner won't shift it, so just be careful about that. And what I do is, with an empty box, if I've cut the stuff and I've still got all the backing on, I simply put all the cut-offs in one box and then rummage through it to see if there's any bits I need, like I did on the roof. I just put patches on the end and it worked perfectly, you know. But I think it's like I say, it's good stuff. But that's just a top tip, so don't get it on the floor. So with the butyl rubber and the aluminium shielding on there, that's on this door now. Now notice I didn't go into the gutter here at the bottom. I didn't do that because I want the crown rust proofing to get behind there, if you see what I mean. So I've just basically done it on the panels, and has it made a difference? I think so. I think it's made a big difference. So now we're going to put this on. So that's the door done. I ran off a little bit on the, it didn't go quite as to plan, because once that stuff sticks, it sticks. Believe me, it does stick. I'm going to do an experiment at the end of this video to show you how sticky it is. Now I could slam the door and see if there's a difference, but it wouldn't be fair because there's all the stuff rattling inside and there's no door rubber on. But we will do later, but it sounds a lot solider. And it's going to keep the heat in. That's most important. In fact, I think this Land Rover is going to be so well insulated now with all this heat proofing and soundproofing, you'll be able to drive it in winter, the midst of winter, on the first speed of the heater. As if. Right, let me get all the rest of the doors done, and then we'll progress to the middle doors. The middle row doors are a little bit more tricky because it's got this guttery type thing on here that doesn't really do much, but I don't want to take it off. So unfortunately you're going to have to cut a piece, that's the old stuff, and make sure it's all off. Started to fold. So the top edge is 50 centimetres, and it's 21, and this one here is 40 by 12. Now obviously we're going to have to trim it round here to get it to fit, which is no big deal, but when you're cutting the Killmat, cut it with the backing on and then take it off, if you see what I mean. Don't cut it and take the backing off, then cut it, because you'll jam up all your scissors and it'll be a right mess. So that's that door done. But here's a top tip. When you've worked out the shape of the material that you're going to stick, cut one for the other side as well, so you're not messing about measuring twice. And the way to do it is to do it face to face. So put one face to there, so you'll get an opposite. Don't do it like that or you'll get two exactly the same. So do them opposite, use this as a template, and also when you're cutting the foam out, use the same template, if you see what I mean. It'll save you hours of time. So that's that door done. All I've got to do now is box it back up and rust proof it. But again, I ain't going to rust proof it until I make sure all the paint's all nicely touched up. There's a few little spots of rust I just want to put a little bit of Coro Stop on. But yeah, that's okay. Pleased about that. Let's get on with the other side. Having all the side doors done now, I did the back door, but what I cheated a little bit, as you do. All the little cut-offs I had, little bits and pieces that were cut-offs of this stuff, I put in behind here. So there's the foam in the front, and then there's the cut-offs. I just butted them together. It doesn't really matter all that much. I mean, nobody's going to see it anyway, but it's still going to have the same effect. So it's going to cut that drumming down. So the next is the big one. We're going to do the floor. That's me and you. So I've got to dust it all off. Now if you can see, just move the camera a little bit, where there was exposed metal from when I ground it, when I bonded on the wing, I put a bit of etch primer on there, so that'll be good. We don't need to go crazy with painting. A little bit of etch primer, that's good. And then we're going to take the soundproofing up the side on that panel all the way down the bottom. Now this is going to be tricky, and I haven't quite worked out how to do it yet, because these are in big sheets. These are in quite big sheets. But the only thing I've got to have one sort of gripe about it is because they fold it in a box, to put it in a box, you've got a crease here, and well, you can roller it out, but it would have been far better to put it in a box that was thinner, or alternatively roll it up. But I'm supposed they have to do that for transport. But sometimes when you're doing small bits, you'll end up with a crease, because you don't want to waste this, because it isn't the cheapest stuff, but it is good stuff. Right, let's blow all this lot out and degrease the floor, because I've been in yesterday with my boots when I was doing the ceiling, and see if we can make this, oh, especially that, better. We always do.